LOTL 15. You have a good time so far? Good. Make sure you send a tweet out there with that hashtag. It's important to share your knowledge and what you find out from the presenters. We appreciate that. My name is Randy Lindquist. I'm the Associate Superintendent for Academics at Muskegon Area ISD and I'm part of the Planning Committee. I want to welcome you to LOTL 15. Glad you're here. I want to give a special thanks to our full planning committee, but a real special thanks to both Steve Deniston and Marilee Scavas for all the work they did. Phenomenal job and lots of work behind the scenes to make this all happen, so thanks to them. Well, I get to introduce our keynote speaker today. His name is Jay Gross. He is an English speech and debate teacher in Shepherd, Michigan. How many of you know where Shepherd is? Not bad, not bad. A little south of Mount Pleasant, small town. He's been a keynote speaker and breakout session speaker across Michigan as far away as Oklahoma. So, there's a guy from Shepherd, Michigan, get to Oklahoma to speak. Well, you're going to find out pretty soon because he has a big and large heart and passion for students. So right from his website, this is a quote from Jay. He writes, "This world of educational technology we are living in is moving faster than ever imagined. During these times, it can be easy to lose sight of the central reason for all of it, the students. The best technology in the world is useless if we are not communicating with today's kids and their parents and relating to them." How true it is. Today, Jay shares how to be passionate about both educational technology and the students. So please help me in welcoming Jay Gross.
Thank you, Muskegon. And you're much nicer here than they were at Oklahoma when I found out they sent me out to dinner at this local restaurant. And I was having so much fun. They had a New York strip, they had spaghetti, they had these deep fried what I thought were gyros, lamb's meat. And I found out later they were lamb testicles. So Oklahoma contracts are now null and void. I would never go back there. I'm going to Kansas and a few other spots. But it is great to be in Muskegon. I made the huge drive over from Shepherd, Mount Pleasant, right by the casino, and most of you knew it. And I saw the puzzled looks as the head starts to turn, going, what the heck? Where is he? Well, when they hired me, Andy and Steve called me, number one, they know I'm not normal. Number two, in the immortal words of Andrew Steinman, you never know what he's going to say. Do you really want to bring him in? So my problem is to walk up on that stage. I know right away, a lot of you who know me or have heard me know how quiet and shy I am. It gives me a time to mold in, but it comes from 25 years of teaching. It's really hard for me to walk in front of you as educators. And even if you're not a teacher and you're doing RESD work, ISD work, you're doing trainings, you are a teacher. And you're getting that experience. And 25 years in the classroom, I sit here, I'm one of you. I just happen to tell some stories and kind of look at it from a different aspect because I can't keep up with technology. I've given up. It's fun, but I just call people when nothing works. You know, buy your IT person Christmas gifts. So if some of you haven't kind of figured out what's going on yet, I'm extremely excited to be here. I've already learned and had a few sessions talking with some people. It's been absolutely awesome. Me, if you're looking for me and haven't seen me yet, this is the guy who... That is not me, so you can narrow it down. I feel it along the lines, you're going to find me. This is more what you're looking for. So when we get to that point, it's like, there's no Magic J/Magic Mike. It's if you've seen the end of Caddyshack, you know the gopher with Kenny Loggins? I do that. So, and I notice the bigger I get, the more I look like that gopher. And those of you who are under 25 and haven't seen Caddyshack, I will not talk to you. I am humongous on relationships and establishing relationships and finding things out about people. I got to stay away from that speaker. I should have known. Putting my timer up. And to find out some things, I believe actions speak louder than words ever will. To give you some background on me, it's all on my page, my bio. You can read that. But there's a few things that stand out. These are my trolls, I like to call them. My boys, we adopted the first two when they were 10 months old and about a month and a half. And then we got Jake when he was about 5 years old. All our boys were adopted. We went through the infertility deal. We had a couple miscarriages. My wife and I speak on it. And it's really kind of neat seeing couples go through the same thing. And we're trying to write a book called He Said, She Said, How We Survive Through Laughter and Tears. But we got a huge heart when it comes to kids. And the one thing I noticed about adoption and foster care, oh my God, did it open my eyes and my heart to teaching. It was just amazing. So then we thought, you know what, let's go international. We got 3 kids right here out of Mount Pleasant in central Montcalm. This is John Bosco. I call him Bosco because his last name is 25 syllables. Even the English speech and debate teacher, he can't do it. But for $40 a month, we sponsor him. He is getting a school uniform, guaranteed 1 meal a day, a full education, and we can send him Christmas gifts and different things. We're corresponding. I had a chance, I missed Mount Rainier this year, sciatic nerve one, so I didn't summit. I'm giving it a second shot in 2017, and I'm hoping in 2019 my climbing crew and I will go to Kilimanjaro and I'll get a chance to see him, because he's just south of Rwanda. His parents were actually cut up in the genocide by machetes, and he was left with his grandmother. So it's kind of neat. My wife brings home kids, we keep them. I bring home dogs, we keep everything. This is my fantastic 7 right now. And we're down to 7, and I'll be down to 6 soon as Ann Thorpe takes the beautiful yellow lab right there. That's Sadie Mae we just rescued, but they're all got their stories and different things. It touches my heart. So kid shows up, dog shows up. There's a bat in the house I couldn't even kill. I had to catch it with a garbage bag and take it out. Last but not least, there's my rock. She's crazy. God darn it, every time I look at that picture, I can't do what I do without her. And it's one of the things when I do a keynote, I go to all these keynotes and I've seen so many different ones. And I don't want to be lectured with sit and get, this is what's out there in the world of technology today. I want to come and be inspired why I'm an educator. My wife is the band teacher. I met her, she was the teacher there when she was there, and I still remember, my car doesn't work, I need food. That was our first date. And from that, it was all downhill, as she calls it. But she's home with the dogs who are attacking the vacuum cleaner. She's been posted on Facebook. So why do I lead with this? Well, number one, you got to know me. But here's one of the things I want you to understand. I don't know what's coming out of my mouth. That is my disclaimer. And I have people like Ann Thorpe who were on Facebook last night telling me, speak with your heart, then your mind, let it get to your mouth. And don't be afraid about skipping with the mind, because I was up late last night. And it was interesting. I felt a lot of pressure because when I speak around the country, I don't care as much as I do in Michigan. I run into you people. Some of you are my friends. A lot of you are my colleagues. It means so much more. I'm going to see you people in a lot of different places. McCall is my hangout. I just have to get on my knees and beg for the money to go every year. So we know what that's like. But here's the thing. Every once in a while, I might say something that irritates you. And you know, as educators, we stand in front of rooms, and you always know that one child. You can't get mad at me. I'm just going to look at you and I'll go, kids and dogs, kids and dogs. And remember, I'm a good person. You cannot get mad at me if I look at you. What? What? Hecklers? I love it. It's that child. Hey, Learning on the Lakeshore 2015. I'm so honored that Andy and Steve asked me to come on down. There is my Twitter handle, jgross811. You have this presentation on jgrossproductions.org. I loaded it to SlideShare. You can take a peek. I'm going to get zinging because I told a lot of people I would rather compete back-to-back against Kevin Honeycutt and follow him than food. You have lunch after this, and I will not keep you long. And this is the first time I've done back-to-back keynotes because the other ones are going to come in all carb-loaded. So I have to keep them away. Let's get started. I'm going to start at the end. If you're good, we think things are going well, I'm going to share a story with you. I'm going to come directly at your heart. Exactly why we get into this. When I come from a conference, when I come to it, I'm always looking for 3 things. I want to be inspired. I want to learn one innovative thing that I can take back and I can actually apply in my classroom. Finally, I want to network and collaborate so I know that if this program's not working, who can I call, text, or message? Get it to work. My dyslexia flips it. Let's talk about collaboration. As you walk around here, you're going to start looking at different people. Steve Denniston, I've gotten to know him over the last 2 years. Absolutely one of the most phenomenal guys, and I like being in Steve's session when I was at Moodle Mood. You can see him smiling all the time. He absolutely loves being an educator. And putting this on, I was so honored and humbled that he asked me to come over here after the Mood, because normally people don't ask me back, and they feed me exotic foods to try to kill me. Next up, I started looking at this one, and I'm like, good God, 4 sessions. There's only 4 sections set up. And then I was like, it's got to be Andy. So you look at Andy. And the one thing I like about Andy, he's always smiling. And it's that kind of smile, don't you? When you look at him, just kind of go, I wonder what he just did. Did he just switch my laptop to Spanish, or Hindu, or something? He's got that grin, but the man loves education, he loves sharing, he loves collaborating. And if you need something in bed, like in the wall of your house, just call Andy, he'll come in and embed anything. Next up, Andrew Steinman, who I absolutely adore this guy, but poor Ann, she hired us. Andrew was my partner for the Blick when we did the learning across the teachers all across the state of Michigan. And sorry I did it again. She paired him up with us, and I love Andrew to death because he just looks at me and he's always shaking his head and smiling, walking away. And he introduced me in Oakland to a new teacher conference. And he says, I don't know what's going to happen, but this is Jay. That was my introduction. I started looking around last night. I keep seeing Anthony Buzza on Twitter, and I was following him along that line, and I thought it was kind of cool because he's a Google Drive addict, so am I, and he found a more efficient way than I do it. And one of the cool things was on his Facebook page, because people, I'll tell you what, as you get to know me, the night before a keynote, if I friend you, prepare. Because I'm going through and stealing, completely unauthorized. And most people don't know it, but I will warn you. This is Dave T. Dave tried 7 times to help me pronounce his last name when we looked at it. But he did friend me late, and 3 things caught my eye. And I looked at this because I've heard he's been doing really well. He was down in Illinois, he's been bopping around from conference to conference, he's in great demand. But the Appaholic thing, right away, I'm a teacher, I love scotch. I'm not gonna lie. I'll tell you, the new root beer, it's not your dad's root beer? Oh, for the love of God. And you can't find it. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it, but he's wearing the Cheers hat, and he's got this grin. I want to sit down and just have a cocktail with him and just chat for a while. So you find these people, they're here at the conference to collaborate with. This is Ann, she's crazy enough to hire me over at the Blick, and we came in and we've gotten to become really good friends. And to listen to her speak and the passion that comes out is just something I try to model. You want to get Ann off topic, mention her grandchildren, the sweeties, the peas in the pod that are coming in. And one of the really super cool things, she asked me a while back at McCall, next month I get to marry her and her husband. Yeah, thank you. I was hoping for So there's only like 6 or 7 of us going to be there. I can't reveal the date. It's top secret because we don't want paparazzi coming in, People Magazine, stuff like that. But it's my first one ever. I went and got ordained because I had a former student ask me, so Mr. Gross, when I get married, will you marry me? I think it'd be a riot. And she started crying. I'm bawling my eyes out, so a couple weeks later I got ordained. Finally, the last one I want to keep you idea. If you're going to collaborate, Rochelle, I worked with in the Blick, but I started looking at this, and of course I had to find the dog picture, and I'm thinking to myself, what's the dog's name, Rochelle? Did you make it to this one, or you coming to the second one? Okay? But I'm actually going to propose to Rochelle during this, because I looked at the top line of what I did beyond this summer, okay? Look at that first line. Establish relationships and building community are the foundation of any classroom. I was creating a session for McCall called Communities and Kids, How to Build It from Your Classroom Out. And then I saw this and I was like, Rochelle, will you McCall with me? Because I would like to do a dual presentation with her and come from that standpoint. So when you come to this, I don't care if you don't know somebody, but you know what they like or what they do. Pick their brain, because they're always going to be here. There's all these people that cross your path. Second's innovation. And I could zip through this list because I love technology in all aspects. Appaholic, Dave hit it dead on. The one thing is I fear it, because when Einstein said that, I don't ever want to let it surpass our humanity, and it is. It is. Kids won't look up from their phones. I almost 2 weeks ago, I don't know if there's a few of you have me on Facebook, I was almost in 2 car accidents that would have killed me had I been texting because the other drivers were texting. One came into my lane, drove me off the highway, the chatterbumps made my Suburban shoot, I caught a tire, it jerked this way and jerked this way. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, I didn't go through a green light right away, I was looking down at the seat, I turned and looked up to watch somebody texting drive through the light at about 50 miles an hour. Had I done what I normally do, watch the yellow kind of go in, I'd have eased forward, I'd have been broadsided. If I'd have been texting too. Kids just think that attitude, and I see it. I teach seniors, some juniors, and I teach early college. They think it can't happen to them. And that's why I fear it. They're at this point right now where they got a Happy Meal on one leg, their phone, they're driving with their teeth, and they're looking in the mirror in the back. They think they can do it all. There's no such thing as multitasking. I fear that. So we got a couple things that I'll show you later on. The one thing that doesn't change is the kid. I can go back to 1985 with the Breakfast Club. I use this in speech class, the uncut version, because I have letters from parents that say I can use the profanity. I'm teaching it. It's in the curriculum. I did have somebody homeschool their child after about 3 days with me, so we'll get to that point. But I have them all. I have the jocks. I have the brains. I have the princess. I've got them all. Now, you know what? They just live in a world that's so different from ours. I would not be standing here with you today if they'd have had Instagram and Facebook when I was growing up. There is no way. I would be shunned. But I look at it, that's the world they live in, and we've got to make them aware. You know what's out there, and I look at everything that's bombarding them. I keep it on my phone, I learn about it. That doggone after-school app, we had a young lady's face was cut on some pornographic images at Shepherd. Disgusting pictures. Within minutes, a girl took screenshots and sent them to me. Within 3 hours, we had the app shut down. We got a hold of Apple on iTunes. They pulled the app. Then they changed a couple things, you know, like they do, 10%, got put back up. We're starting to educate our kids, and we're created a class this fall called Digital Media Responsibility to work on that legacy. We're trying to be proactive. I can talk to you about Sidekick. Do I have any Sidekick users yet? Anybody? Anybody? Oh, do you have helicopter parents? Okay, see, because you're good people. They want to help you. I have Apache helicopter parents. They attack. Guns blazing, napalm, it's gross, I want him. All right, so I protect myself. If I send an email to said parent X, immediately when they open it, Sidekick kicks it back. Oh, by the way, I tell you, it's a free Google app. You can download it on Chrome. Download it on Chrome. Now, stop. You get the first 200 a month free. After that, you got to pay $10 a month, and it's unlimited. But look at what it does. To me, it's worth it. Don't do group. You send group, someone has opened. Okay? So that's the way you want to do it. All the things we do, I got kids that hate to write. They love to talk. Dragon dictation. Talk about it. You know, when you're done, email it to yourself. Some want to use Siri. I have no problem with speech to text. Block's not the answer. Can't stand it. I never wanted a cookie till my mom said no cookies before dinner. I had to take the cookie. And the worst thing my mother ever did, I don't want you dating that girl. Why? Now I have to find out. Don't tell the kids what not to, show them how to properly use it. So then we come back up to, I gotta keep pointing it up there. Twitter, I know some schools I go to, it's blocked. I absolutely love it. I use it in my classroom for debates. We run a back channel, the kids critique. As soon as the kids are done in the debate, they go back and look. One positive, one thing to work on, one positive. That's my rule, okay? Facebook, people, I keep looking at it like it is life. It's not life, it's about life that you report. But I'm trying to work on my kids to stop ranting and raving and leaving digital footprints. They're gonna come back to haunt them. My Facebook page says 2 things. Oh, don't get me crying, don't awe on this one. That was the goob. That was my youngest one. Double pink eye. Dad had to stay home at that point. So guess what Dad had to stay home for the next week? Single pink eye. Yeah, as it came down. But I love kids, I love my animals, I love my dogs. That's my Facebook page. I instantly, that is all calculated. I want that for people to see and relate to. Now some people would say, Jay, you gotta be friends with parents, you gotta be friends with kids. That's not right, a teacher shouldn't do that. Well, I was the #1 advocate for it, and Claire Bunker, our superintendent, one of the most intelligent people I've ever met, Claire says, 2 summers ago, you're going down to Adrian, Terry Abbott's there. Who's Terry Abbott? Don't worry about it, you're going. Off I go. I come in, long table, Terry Abbott at the end. Administrative superintendents from around the state of Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio, and here sits Jay. I'm almost wearing what I am, except I didn't have socks and shoes on because I left them in the car. Terry Abbott is talking about media relations with the community. Terry Abbott, during 9/11, was with George Bush in that kindergarten classroom when Bush gets told the towers have been bombed. He walks back to Terry Abbott and says, I'm getting on Air Force One, you're not. Write me a speech, I need it in an hour. I'm like, as soon as he did that and showed Air Force One, the dude had me. But the next thing out of his mouth was, no, he looks at the administrators and says, not one of your teachers should be on Facebook or Twitter or texting their students ever. And I look around. And immediately my brain works. Terry, is that a challenge? So up goes my hand. Yeah, Jay. About 5 or 6 minutes, I talked to Terry, and he says, let's have lunch. So I sat down and talked to the president's, they let me talk to the former president's advisor about the press releases. And he gets all done, and he looks at me, and he says, Jay, You found a way to make it work. You keep it positive. But he says, you're an abomination. Normal person would be insulted. I puffed my chest out and I was like, yeah, I'm an abomination right straight out of the White House. And I've got different sessions on social media. That's not what I'm about. But I'm looking at it from this standpoint. The number one fear is I'm going to get accused of pedophilia. Kids are getting molested, they're doing this. You know what? Without us out there watching and seeing what's happening and making them aware, there's no way. 0.5%. I'm going to live in fear and let them stop me from helping the kids. You want to know what's really sad? Foster care parents, adoptive parents, I did a background check. I don't know how many fingerprints or anything else. I have a letter on file to take my kids on field trips that I am not a pedophile or a convicted sex offender. We had to go through all those loopholes and things. It's a probe like you've never seen in your lifetime. But I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, yeah, okay, you know what? I'm not an attractive young 21, 22, 23-year-old person. I've got my reputation built. It's different for me. Would I do it if I was in those first 5 years and things? I'd use Remind 101. I wouldn't hesitate. I'd protect myself, but I'd still be reaching out for these kids, and I'll get to why. Want to fight a pedophile or predators? Let's educate it before it happens, and that's the class that Shepherd's coming up with this fall, and I can't wait to get this baby rocking. Hopefully I've got it all packaged up, ready for McCall. I want to present how we're presenting it. Throw it up on Google Drive. Come and take it. Online portfolios. People didn't stop doing these. I like that. Because our kids, like Rachel, she went and did her online portfolio and got about 4 or 5 job offers. I have another young lady that at 19 years old, when she sent her online portfolio to them, everything she'd done at 12, the lawyer looked at her and says, you did that? Yeah, my English class. But you built that, yeah? Hired her on the spot, started at $30,000 a year. Guess what he had her do? Build his website. 19 years old, 30 grand. That beats Max. Okay? Next thing up, Kahoot. I love it. I've used it. But here's the problem. I started using it about 3.5 years ago, came back from one of the things, kids loved it, kids used it. Last year, a young lady walked in, I had her 5th period. What's wrong, sunshine? You're not smiling. Mr. Rose, first hour, Kahoot. Second hour, Kahoot. I looked at her, not 3rd and 4th. She looks at me and goes, did you speak at another conference? Because they're all using it. And I just started laughing. We gotta be careful not to overuse it, because as soon as you do, it's burnt out. This is getting to be the hot topic right now. I'm in the Voxer world, but I don't use it as much, because my point is, I like it, it's more personal. Is anybody on the Voxer deal? Okay, I like the aspect of going back and forth. My problem is, I have 5 jobs. I want to send me a text. Get it to me quick, give me what I need, I'll get back to you as fast as I can. I found myself filtering through and going back so much it became clumsy. It's personal. I got no problem with that. You know what else is personal to me? Give me a call, let's go for a scotch, let's sit down. Let's chill, let's talk face to face. Let's talk on the phone. Let's do a Skype. Let's do a Google Hangout so I can at least see you, okay? Oh, gotta go back. Gotta go back. Fresh Grade. Hey, you see Ken Robinson, I got a hit on it. I have to look at it. Did anybody check out Fresh Grade that just came out? This is cool. And this is cool because what I like about it is you've got Dojo and some of the other ones that are out there. You set this up, you put in your kids' names, and all of a sudden little Susie is doing something positive for the first time and not beating up the kid next to her. You click a picture, there she is, boom. You can send it to Susie, you can send it to the parent, you can send it to everyone, you can select quick and fast, and then when the child gets the picture, they're compiling an online portfolio of all the positive things that you see them do. Imagine you've got them at a football game, and that one kid that never plays gets in, and you get a quick clip and you send it to him that you were there. Look at the relationship that you just established. You just made your life a lot easier in the classroom. That kid's going to look at you differently. It's your actions, not what you say, that's going to speak so much louder. That makes it easier. Finally, if you really want to step up, this is my main source. That's my fountain of knowledge, Edutopia. If you're not following it, get on it. Get on it. Get on it on Twitter. Get on it on Facebook. They're quick, fast, easy reads, and they will open up a world for you. That is better than any PD I've ever seen in my lifetime, because you can do it at 2:30 in the morning when you're standing there trying to come up with a keynote. Finally, you guys didn't read my Facebook post last night. Some of you might have. It was a rough night. Finally, the last one. Go ahead and laugh. I don't care what you say. I love Clash of Clans. How many Klansmen do I have in here? I hope we battle you, we will crush your souls. I have Sheptown 811. Sheptown 811, and I love it, because if you don't know what a PECA or a golem is, or what to upgrade before you upgrade your town hall, and you don't speak these kids' natures, here's the best one. I got into this. This is a nasty word, and I hate to say this in front of you guys, but they're probably going to videotape it. I got into this for manipulation. You ever hear in the high school, this is the worst 8th grade class coming ever? Ever, okay? That's a challenge. So what did I do? Found out those names of those beautiful little misdirected angels. Hey, you play Clash of Clans? Yeah. Check out Sheptown 811. I got the top 3 referral form kids in my clan. Mr. Gross this, Mr. Gross that, there's no swearing, you ask politely, you say please and thank you. I won't send you troops unless you say please and you say thank you. Go ahead and laugh, it's working. It's working, and if you bother me and I don't like you as a staff member, I turn those kids loose on you. Do me a favor, go peck the hell out of Mr. Smith. Okay? Finally, I'll give you a quick glimpse, but I'm not going to let you look at it too long. That's my clan castle. The kids love it because they've never seen anything like it. Klansmen who know when I go to war, they're scouting. They can't scout me for the first 24 hours. And you got to see it. They just look at me, and I'm waiting for the light to shine down there. Oh, Mr. Rose. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but to those of you who do. So the keynote. What is it about the inspiration? That's where I want to walk up and go, you know what? When I walk out of Kevin Honeycutt talks, it's amazing. I walk out of there and I walked up before I even knew him and I hugged him. Kevin, I love you. He kind of did one of these, and he's a very strong man. He goes, kind of pushing me back. Now I'm working for him on a best keynote. I absolutely adore the ground the man walks on. But he was the inspiration for me to start really looking at keynotes when I looked at it. And one of the things that we did with this, when I come to a keynote, what I want to do is I want to go back to that place in my mind. Like when I do wedding videography, that bride will walk down that aisle, and it takes me, oh my God, I see my wife every single time. Stop! And it brings me back when I come back from those weddings and I shoot them, I picture my wife. And that to me is why we come to PD and we collaborate and we look at different things with each other. We want to walk out of this and refresh when we go into this fall why we're teachers. But you know what? Let's flip it on the opposite side. When you go to a funeral, it's the same thing. I want to walk out with an appreciation for life, and I want to know how that person lived. You know, we just had a teacher pass away. I didn't even know it. But I looked at the things that the people wrote about her. She was from a different district. And I looked at it because I knew a lot of the people that were writing about her didn't write anything about test scores. They didn't write anything about curriculum. They write about the hours and the things that the person did and the volunteering types of things. That's what keynotes are to me. Because Maya Angelou said it best, they won't always remember what you said, but they'll remember exactly how you made them feel. And one of my favorite ones, doorway time. I don't care how busy I am, I'm standing in the doorway. Kid walks through, I like the sweater, that double XL. Why, you think I'm fat? No, I want to steal it. You know, they got a new pair of $7,000 tennis shoes walking through the door. Those 10.5s, 11s, what are you talking about? Then they get defensive when you look at their shoes, because it's just like, that's what, they'd rather be naked, just wear shoes. So don't mess with my shoes. My favorite one is I walked in one day, there's a group of boys sitting right there, and I walked by, I was busy, didn't pay any attention. 6 of my football players, baseball players, and I went over and sat down at my desk, started working. Josh walks over, Mr. Gross, you okay today? Yeah, why? Nothing. He walked back and sat down, and they just kind of, I knew exactly what happened. I walked back over and I slapped him in the head, the kid next to him in the head, the kid next to him. It was like they waited, they're sitting there grinning. He hit me. You know, and it's just those relationships that you establish allow learning to take place. It's amazing. We take a look at this, and I still think about when I listened to him speak. And it was amazing as this man is dying of cancer and he comes in, but I remember the way he made me feel. When he talked about booyah. He talked about it, and I did this last night about 17 different times as I tried to sleep. I remember what he said, as cool as the other side of the pillow. I never forget when he says that, and I listen to the way that people talk about him, the legacy that he left, and my all-time favorite, Jimmy Valvano. I play this speech once a month on the first Monday of the month before school starts, and I listen to this. Because you don't ever give up, because you know what, I got these papers due, I got to do this report, I got to get this testing done. No, you don't. There's other more important things out there. Maybe that kid didn't get to eat today. Maybe that kid's dad beat the hell out of him last night. Maybe he needs something more important than a bubble sheet. And that's where you read them, because you know right away when suddenly a kid's acting different, or suddenly the attendance drops off. Always stop and look through students' eyes. That is my number one key. As I take a new lesson home, if I took Kahoot home, or you take home what did I say was one with Ken Robinson? What was the app? Yes, Fresh Grade. How's the kid going to view that? How would I view that if I were a kid? Next up, I know fear is self-created. It's in your mind, but try it just one time. Step out of your comfort zone. I was up in the UP a couple months back, and I love the guy. We stayed in contact. He says, Jay, he came up to me with tears in his eyes. I'm still using overheads. I want to take the plunge. What can I do? I said, how is your relationship with the kids? And the superintendent's standing behind him going like this. This is the guy he wanted me to talk to. I go, how's your relationship with the kids? He goes, pretty good. I get along with them good. Grab a group of them, have them take those overheads, put them in PowerPoint, take the first step. Maintains it with me. He's taken that first baby step. It's amazing to get over that fear and just take the step. Finally, inspire yourself. You guys, we need it. We can get beat down. It's super easy to get negative. And one of the things you look at is right here. Keeping positive in a sometimes negative world. We get beat down by legislation, lack of funds, all kinds of fun stuff going around. Don't let it get you. Surround yourself, watch videos, do whatever it is you got to do and inspire yourself daily. Up at the top up there, at a kid many years ago, I used to bash on Eminem, the rapper. Can't believe Eminem, some of the music, the mouth that came out of him. Pulled me aside, he had a piece of paper in his hand. He says, have you ever listened to Eminem's lyrics? Nope. I heard the F-bombs, I heard all that, all this, all that. He goes, will you read this? And I keep looking at it, it's like, look, if you had one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or would you let it slip? That's life. You got one shot. And my kicker is, how many of you get to that point in your career where you think backwards? On my last day, if I had one lecture to stand in front of every student that I ever taught, what would they say about me? What would I say? Would it be, man, you showed me how to fill that bubble sheet in better than anybody? Or was you the one that was standing there when they were crying, the one that was standing there when they were hungry, you gave them your lunch, you gave them the only food that you had to go beat up a third grader. I look at it from that standpoint. Where is that in you? And I look at that inspiration when I walk in every day. My desk is on this side. I walk in, that is the first thing that I see. And then the little cretins that stole my chairs and went behind my desk. Next up, when you look at it, and this is where it really gets hard, what really gets to me is, and I got asked this one time in a new teacher clinic, I said, Jay, what's the hardest part about teaching? Well, you can lose them. And you watch Lou Gehrig's disease eat the kid down and get trained from the time he was a freshman. And you watch him build up so much muscle tissue that he got a ride scholarship to Northwood. And then you watch Lou Gehrig's disease to the point you got to pick a pop can up for him. And you look at another one who's 14 years old, and my wife had a band concert to raise funds to help the family. They raised over $6,000. And Karen leans over and looks at her brother without hesitation and says, you can get that four-wheeler you wanted now. Didn't want it for herself. She wanted her brother Eric, who I still maintain contact with to this day because of some of the things that happened with that. Those two pictures are on my desk and it reminds me of why I'm there and why I'm in that room. It's not always about the curriculum, and it's not always about the technology and coming in and being an entertainer. It's just being there for them. Come on, you should start it. Oh, this is the other one, Steve Wolf. I worked with him at Best Keynote. He just finally cracked down and wrote the book Heart to Heart Teaching. It's about 90 pages of Steve telling stories, phenomenal storyteller. He's from the administrative side. I come from the teacher side. I'm hoping someday we can do a duet back and forth together because normally administrators, sometimes the teachers don't see eye to eye, especially when the mouthpiece one on staff is also the union president. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. But Steve captures, it was like my brother from a different mother when I'm reading the book. They went through, they fostered, they ended up adopting, all the stories and the different things that he did. I read his book in one sitting, ordered it. I'm going out to see him in Kansas when I speak, spend some time with him and his wife, eat, and he's going to sign my book for me. The other one is, if you have not read the last lecture, please, 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 please read this. My favorite part, this was me. He's got this customized car. Don't spill anything. Don't put your feet on the seats. Don't touch anything. Just riding it to his kids, and then he gets the disease. Takes the Coke and he reaches back and dumps it all over the back of the car because the car is meaningless. It's the memories you make inside that car. Just like it's the memories you make inside your classroom and in the hallways and in those games and in those band concerts and different things where we're at. Realize, you guys, I'm sorry, this profession is a gift. Not everybody can do it. Not everybody can do it. As a president, I've had to defend teachers that were struggling, that left it. I've had to defend all the way through. But I look at it, it's a gift. You're here for a reason in your summer. Don't tell me it's just sketches. I can't keep track of those things anyway. I haven't filled anything out in 2 years. They haven't pulled my license yet. You laugh, I'm waiting to see. You can just see a job line. What's it like to be a kid? That's the number one. And I keep looking at kids today. Let's have a little fun. It takes about a minute. Would you do it if you had the chance? Dance with yourself as a kid again? Oh, in a heartbeat. So when you got that technology and these wonderful things these people have taught you today, immediately when you do it, flip it. If I'm a student in my classroom, how would I react to this? What would be the things? Don't be afraid to ask the kids. Because I keep looking at that to see myself as a baby just boggled my mind. If this will go. I always remember what it was like to be a kid. Is that what you want to sit in? How would you guys react if I came in and read you my keynote? It's still happening. It's still happening. I see it. I've seen it in early college. I've seen people do this. I watch my students that are down the hall when we have dual enrollment and a prof will come on campus and teach it and do this. They get up and walk up and come to my classroom and I let them. Drives people insane. What are they going to do? My question to my administrator when they come to get the kids, walk in and see what they're teaching. They walk back and they go, you got to be kidding me. Will you teach that next year? No. Handouts? Now, there's a positive and a negative. My biggest problem is, number one, I'm a Lorax man. Don't kill the trees, you're killing me. Okay? I understand there's a time and a place, but no child has ever said, oh my God, that's the greatest ditto I ever did in my lifetime. My favorite were these. And you know why you're all going, oh.
Yeah.
It's a good day. The kid saw the purple dot, and it's like, Gross is going to be happy today. Ditto high. You had ditto high. They don't know what this is. They have no idea. What's the pencil to write the label on? You know, you look at it going, huh? They have no clue what this is. I look at this and go, you look at prehistoric Googling. You don't speak the same language with them. They don't have to do it the way that we did, people. And I got some old stuff in here. I don't have time. I'm watching it. I'm down to 4 minutes, just under. We get to that point. I'd love to have some more time with you to show you these things. These are the kids that can look at the screen swipes and then go, oh, you're Fruit Ninja. They know what you're doing when you're in the teacher's lounge. They know the swipes on your handle. That's what you're looking at. And it gets better. Here's an actual conversation I heard. I almost laughed so hard. Number one, I snorted. Number two, I almost wet my pants. This is the actual conversation between two 12-year-olds. You use Yahoo email? The next one. So, my mom still uses Hotmail. What's Hotmail? Is it dirty? I snorted, and I'm laughing so hard trying to get out of the hallway. Oh my God. And I'm not giving them any rights, and I'm going to use that everywhere I go. But there's you are classified by what email you use. That is mind-boggling. Cell phones, if they're a problem, I get some teachers that do this kind of stuff. You guys, I talk to them over there for 10 minutes. I turn them loose. They group up around my desk. And it is just, I'm the sage. I'll never be the sage on the stage. I like being the guy on the side. I turn them loose. And you know what happens? It's like biting into the whole Kit Kat. I do this. Do this at a traffic light. Hold it up and just, and people they're like horrified. You're supposed to snap one off and nibble it. Do it like like that. That's not the way you do it. You know what? I don't teach like normal people either. I'd rather have it all applicable. We get going. One of the things that crack me up, doggone cross-country runners. Number 2, I hate them because they're thin. They can eat anything they want and they gain no weight. And you know what they're arguing about? When I go to the water bottle station, I have to hold my bottle to hydrate for Coach Cahoon, and the air goes like this, and I can't fill that final inch. You're kidding me, right? I'm listening to me. It's like, you're my class. You're kidding me. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1's over there, 2's there, 3's there. I popped up a picture of the water bottle filling station. Here's the deal. You have 2 weeks. Whoever wins gets an A. Next group I think's good, B. The other group fails. Welcome to life. Huh? Within 3 weeks, we had that installed in Shepherd High School. They did an article in the morning. The superintendent has to approve anybody who calls to talk to me. I'm not allowed to talk to the public. She okayed it. I actually got an interview in the paper. It was my first one in 24 years. And then we did a veterans parking only. We put 5 signs at the football stadium and 5 by the basketball stadium for veterans. I like projects that are applicable. I can teach English like that. Number 1, you gotta spell the sign right. And there's a million ways to look at it. I'm watching my time. Here's the key. This is why I do what I do.
I stand before you today to apologize. The system has failed you. I have failed you. I have failed to help you share your talent with the world, and the world needs talent more than ever, yet it's being wasted every day by an educational system steeped in tradition and old ideas. It's time for a new tradition. It's time to realize talent isn't just in schools like this one, it's everywhere. It's time to use technology to rewrite the rules of education. To learn how you are so we can teach you better. It's time university adapted to you rather than you adapted to it. It's time for a different kind of university. It's your time.
And it is. We can fight it all we want, you guys, but it's a different world out there, and I refuse to fight it and let them go. We have parents that will sit at a playground. They will sit at a playground and watch their kids on the monkey bars, and they'll never leave their side, but they'll turn them loose in a digital universe on a computer and iPad and their phones and not have a clue what they're doing. If we're there to guide them, it works. Now, I'm normally set for like an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. I got to cut this. I want to get to the final part, and I do apologize. We didn't get a little bit more time together. But the bottom line is these kids are gifts. And if you're not helping them find a digital story, having the kids talk about their life, what's the point of having digital story apps and technology? You gotta find a way the kid have a voice, and they've got voices, trust me. The one big thing I wanna get across to you is if this were my last day teaching you guys, what would they say about me? What would I say to them? Start backwards like they tell you with those unit plans. Work your way back forward. What would they remember about me? Because I'm gonna curse you in 2 ways. Number 1, that's the door handle of my classroom. Every day when I open it, I start to smile. And every day when I close it, I smile or I frown because it depends on the relationship that I have. But that opens up that world where I get to be with those kids for that entire time. Or if I'm teaching a session and I have you guys in a session, I get that time with you that's so special. Second thing is, if you take attendance, and I don't care if you are a trainer, who you are, look them in the eye. Look them in the eye. I take 10 seconds from the time I walk up to the front before I say anything. They think it's along the lines. I see them as people. They're not numbers, they're not test scores. They're young adults, they're people that I look at in the eyes and I see them that way. Because the reason is, I didn't do that one Friday. We had 6 suicides in 7 years. Current students and former students. I was pulling out of my driveway. This is a former student of mine, and I love Jess to death. I smile like you can't believe it. There he is with his son. And as I'm pulling out, I promised my wife and my kids I would never text and drive, so I pulled over in the driveway. I flipped through Facebook to answer some messages, and as I looked down, bam, Kurt Cobain popped up. Kurt Cobain committed suicide. We've talked about that with Hamlet, and we talked about his to be or not to be speech. And I'm like, Jesse, what are you doing? I got in the car and I drove off and I forgot about it. I was almost going to write a message and go, what are you doing, dude? What's up with that? He hung himself that night. Family asked me to speak at the funeral. It's the hardest thing I've ever done as a speaker in my entire life. I will never forget that day and not taking that chance and that opportunity to reach out. You think that's good? I love Words with Friends. I got 30 games going. The kids beat me, they get extra credit. They get extra credit. Their parents beat me, I give them double extra credit. One father walked in, thought I cheated. Put $100 down. Man, 6'8" farmer could have ripped my head off like a base. We played, he laughed, he goes, damn English teachers, off he walked. I'm playing this with Sean. Sean was good. Sean's a hacker. Sean could have hacked into anything, and he hacked into pretty much everything except my computer. Take a look at him. I came in late, I'd been out, I'd been speaking, I got in late on a Friday night from being gone that week, it was like 12:30. I went through, up in the top right, nothing there. So I was like, he was the only game that was on. And I hadn't seen him in school. And I was gonna just, normally I'll just say, hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? Anything like that, and I didn't. Monday morning, that seat was empty. He took his own life. He took his own life, and I'd had 3 counselors tell me there's nothing I could do to prevent it. There's nothing I could do to prevent it, but you can't tell me if I'd have sent that text. If I'd have just messaged him and said, hey, how you doing? It would have opened up a channel that kid might have talked to me and he might still be here because the world was a better place with him. And that's why I cry out to you. It's not about the technology, it's how you use it. And who you are as a person and how we view the kids. This profession is a gift. And so are you as educators, you guys. And so are our students. It has been my absolute honor to share time with you today. Thank you so much.